is done. Now that we are done, I wonder if we can do maps with some delirium maybe. I mean, 15% is pretty modest. Shall I add to it? Let me try. Okay, I might be asking for it here. We'll try this. And we have 0 rated, right? 8. Where do I have 8 rated from? Oh, I have it accidentally on my helmet. I guess. Let's see how it goes. It's actually better than I imagined. How much is this again? It's 35%. Wow. Oh yes. It's falling short. Okay. Not bad. Eight rated. Wow. Mm-hmm. This is wow, this did work. And I kept forgetting the chart quarter staff, chart staff. Buying. Yeah, so it's not very clean, but we were able to handle a 35% delirious map. Meh. Meh. Bloodthorn. I guess it's a nice starter weapon, but of course it doesn't compare to this crazy fellow. It's so weird that this has no level requirement whatsoever. So strong. Range. %72% delirious. That could definitely be a stretch. Try a few more maps. One on 41% rarity. Wow. Let me try this map as well. Sump. Okay. Empower. Phew. Herald of Ice. So guys, next season Herald of Ice is going to receive the blunt end of the nerf stick, sadly. So it can go off from itself, right? So you can trigger some Herald of Ice explosions, and they can trigger some more Herald of Ice explosions as well. That's going to stop. Okay. And that is one of the big reasons of its popularity. Let's grab the stuff. So of course, that's because this guy doesn't have any rarity and also is slow compared to my other builds. I don't want to, spend too much time on him. I just wanted to show you guys that it's functional now. Pretty fast as well. And as you can see right now, I don't have a need for doing the bell, right? I'm not doing the bell. It's just Ice Strike, right? I only refresh the charge staff and that's it. There is only one class that I haven't played, but yeah, I don't think I want to play Warrior. We can get the delirium reward thing up to. Okay, I guess this is going to be a good measure. See, delirium boss down. Aha, tier 6. And it can never go to tier 7 as far as I know. The delirium reward thingy. So we can just cash out now, or we can enjoy the remaining mirrors. Okay, let's just cash out because there is the off chance that, wow, 30. Really now? Okay, is it Akta Pokta? It is. Akta Pokta indeed. I mean, on the off chance that we die, I wanted to. Okay. I think I had that. The weapon gives spirit, eh? Interesting. Let me invite that fella again. Carpaccio. Oh, that's a bit of risk. And there is chaos on top. Okay, that's 4 affixes. Try. The big oof. Let me try 2-way. Probably not gonna work out. Maybe a few more maps. Abyss. What is the boss of the Abyss map? Is it the big Act 2 fella? I think it is. I think it is the big Act 2 fella. Where are my power charges? Here we are. This build has a nasty habit of getting one-shotted out of nowhere, and the thing is, guys, as you can see with max resistances and 2300 shield and almost the same amount of HP, yeah, it's a little bit hard to figure out where that comes from, but I randomly die. Of course, it's much rarer these days, right? We have quite a lot of feet. Got to level 90. High strike can go upwards of 200k with procs. And when we are doing non-delirious maps, we don't need to use the bell at all. I mean, you can use the Chayula for mobility, and that's it. It's just high strike, spam, spam, spam. Yeah, and this character, guys, is mighty cheap. I didn't spend 10 divine. Maybe if you convert the exalted that I spent on the character into divines, maybe it would have added 10 divine, but that is it at most. But of course the problem is, guys, I have 0 rarity and that's not a very good start, right? Only if you are thinking about season start. So the leveling was fine mostly. The earlier maps were a little bit painful. Well, there were some periods of leveling that was painful as well, but the early mapping was a little bit painful because I did rush through the campaign, so I kind of made it happen. I mean, I did rush through the campaign. I graduated, so to speak, from the campaign at early level like 60 or so, and then of course the early mapping was somewhat painful. But as soon as I did a gear do-over, so I struggled all the way up to 65, and at 65 you can equip the third best quality of gear. So yeah, it's the big fella. So I equipped the third best quality of gear, and then whoa! What is that damage? Whoa, I was gonna die. You saw that, guys? I mean, I had several hundred HP left at the end. Dang. It hit so hard. Yeah. So guys, that's the benefit of having the energy shield and life, right? So I have a total of 4,500 or something. You have to not allow that buff to expire as best as you can. Keep it at max stacks. So the way the build goes is it's going to be 5 stacks. You go up to 7 stacks when leveling, but 2 of those nodes are not really very good. So you just go for the one node that gives you 2 power charges, which allows you to accrue 5 stacks of it. Yeah. Wall Factory, it's not a map I like. So guys, you might have noticed that I do have 30 additional spirit. What's that for? That is for turning off the Herald of Ice for pinnacle bosses and turning on Cast on Shock. And of course, if you have 60 spirit, if you have just that much, you can just play with Cast on Shock, but Cast on Shock is not gonna do much in the other content because as you can see, we are just killing fast. It's meant for bosses only, and during bosses the Herald does not do much, so I'm sure most of you know that this is one of the ugliest maps ever, right? Very, very hard. Being able to handle the breach mapping here. So how far we've come. Long live the heralds, eh? So that is kind of the final form. Of course, this is a budget version. What you want to do probably, if you want a normal version, is you want to keep this level of stats and you want to get rarity, right? So because in almost every single item that I have, guys, there is one FX that's wasted, and you want to unwaste it and change it with rarity most of the time. And of course that is pretty expensive because my items are at the border of being expensive and they have a lot of good stats, so they cost, you know, maybe 1 divine, maybe 200, 300 exalted orbs. But you know, when you add, you know, rarity to an already good item, then the price goes to divines, of course. You can look after this map. So guys, because this was not going to be a real endgame character for me, I didn't spend the currency on it. I just wanted to make it functional, the endgame, and as you can see, he is. And the power of not having rarity, right? So when I didn't pursue rarity, and guys, as you can see, it's just, you know, one button mapping, right? I'm doing nothing but ice strike, right? I mean, I do refresh the charge staff so that it doesn't expire. If I'm not lazy, I use a hand of Chayula to teleport to the next pack, but you know, it's also not really very required, right? Because the melee skills have a little bit of range of teleport, right? So let me show you, for example. See, that small dash, I'm not doing it, right? The skill auto does it. Let me show you what Chayula does. Okay, that was somewhat dangerous. You see, let me try Chayula again. So that's Chayula, right? It dashes a little distance more than the melee skills auto dash. So what you want to do is, normally you want to do this with some rarity, right? And the thing is, guys, the character is pretty fast, as you can see. So, and another good thing is you don't really have to change builds. You can level with this build, right? It's very, very similar. There are just some passive tree changes, right? And when you finish the campaign, you can just switch to this version. That's also nice, right? Because sometimes you play with something through the campaign and then you respec. That costs gold, you know, also the gear has to be changed. This is just, you know, pretty straightforward, pretty nice. I suppose in the off weapon, you could use blink. Yeah, but I don't think we have skill slots. We kind of use a lot of. So the skill gems don't even cost 1 divine, all in all, right? Chayula's level doesn't really matter too much. Eye Strike, Bell, and Charge Staff at 20, which is a luxury, right? Just Eye Strike at 20, if they have enough. The level 20 skill gems cost 60 exalted only, right? And then, of course, you know, for the spirit gems, I just went 19 because they are insanely expensive. They cost around 20, so you know it costs like 280, 300. I mean, if you add the gem cutter's prism for the quality, you know, the sockets and everything would add up to, you know, 1 divine at most, right? And if you exercise economy, that can be even lower. So that's pretty good. And as you can see, I have 100k eye strike damage, which can be, with in combat procs, it goes up to like 240k or something like that. I'm not very sure. It does exceed 200k. That's the final staff. Very high physical damage and elemental damage. Intelligence, etc. Its ID. No. Okay, put. I have gathered a very unnecessary and abnormal amount of medium level skill gems and support. Take a look at this. Why? What is the ID? Let me actually fix the filter. That should hide our skill gems. What shall we do? I don't want to do the gambling today. Should I do a little bit of classic? My boy. I should have some. No, the weird thing is I have not done anything regarding this one, Reliquary Vault. We're supposed to find keys. Oh, it's about to sell. That's nice. Okay. I have missed slacking. $5,000 HP, guys. Takes so much work, but we have it. Not at all easily reachable. Whew. That 100 divine sale yesterday was very nice, guys. Didn't expect it at all. But I don't know if you know, right? I have done a video on it. So, you might remember I was a little bit puzzled on the day of the patch 0.2 stream, right? I mean, they did talk about all of the upcoming changes, but they never talked about the seasonal mechanic. And I was always saying, if something is seasonal, I'm sure. Well, thing is, nothing is seasonal. They have declared it today. So guys, when the season comes, you can opt for a fresh start, or you can just not, and there is nothing in between, right? So there is nothing, no piece of content, no teensy bit of content that the seasonal characters can reach and the standard characters cannot reach. There is nothing. I think for that kind of stuff, they should have provided us with some amount of motivation at the very least. But yeah, there is not. So guys, there are a lot of changes coming, of course, so it will be very different from what we are used to. But as I said, standard and Dawn of the Ant will not be any different. The only difference is we are going to get an economy reset, so all of the items will be gone, right? Because the standard characters and the seasonal characters will not be able to interact in any way. But yeah, that's it. I mean, the economy will be somewhat healthier, I guess, because there were some duping going on at the beginning of the season. Also, that's what I heard, for sure. Also, there was, so this is sure, there were some abuses. For example, guys, you have a very good item and you want to use Chaos Orb on it, so you have a good item, right? But it has one bad modifier, right? And you want to get rid of the bad modifier. And so you do a chaos in hopes of removing it, right? And of course, most of the time it's going to remove something good and you're going to cry. Well, why do I already have that? Okay. I mean, there was something that, you could force the maps to crash somehow. I don't know why. I don't know how. So, for example, you chaos the item. You chaos the good item with 5 good modifiers on it, right? Something you don't like gets erased, right? You go into the map and you crash the map, and it rolls you back to a few minutes ago. Boom! Item is restored to having 5 good modifiers. Repeat until you remove what you want and hit what you want, And you could say, guys, it's a little bit tedious. It is, but that stuff is extremely valuable, right? Because imagine, guys, getting a mirror item on day, I don't know, 10. So you would be mirroring it the entire season, and you would be farming the mirroring fee. Yeah, there were a lot of items like that. You might have seen the almost perfect mirror items, the literal perfect mirror items. They exist. So there was a fully perfect bow, guys. I think the cap for dual string bows with +5 skills is 741 DPS, and there was one like that. 2 additional arrows, +5 projectile skills, and 741 DPS, right? Fully and literally perfect. Not even 1 damage of anywhere. Right? So we'll be getting rid of those items, and also at some point you might have heard maybe that people doing temporalist runs were able to kill the boss repeatedly. So guys, you go into the boss room, you kill the boss, he drops temporalist, and run is over, right? Well, those people have found a way to not leave the run somehow and kill the boss again and again. And imagine, guys, it drops temporalist every single time. And yeah, this might sound a little bit surprising, right? Because it's worth hundreds of divines, right? You could question if there was that kind of cheating really done. Yeah, it was, right? People got temporals over and over, and that is, and of course, as you can imagine, that reduces temporal's price by a lot, because the availability is much higher than intended, right? Because, guys, thousands of people do trial of Sekimas. Maybe 1 or 2 of them get the last flame. The people that do the last flame die at times. That of course wastes another, right? And 1 of them finally manages, and the community gets 1 temporaries, right? But of course it was not like that, right? There were people with like 8 temporalises, right? I mean, it was still a luxury and expensive item, but a lot of people had temporalis, so that's how, right? So I think we can expect much higher prices in the next season with temporalis. And they also said something about nerfing it, but of course we don't know how the nerf is. The Q&A guys said it's still not somehow, as we haven't seen the patch notes, we can't say. But today is the 31st, and the patch is coming on the 4th, so we have 3 full days coming, right? Well, 4 full days, I guess. We have to wait 3 more full days. And I think they will be releasing the patch notes soon. And if you're on PC, the patch will be available for pre-download 1 day before. That's what they said. This is a big relief after the monk, guys. With the monk, there is the constant clicking, and with this guy, there is just nothing. You just sit on your ass. Beautiful. Wasn't very profitable though, was it now? No bad affixes, but the tiers are extremely low. That's sad. don't want to die in the run that I do a million days later. Yeah, let's go. And the whole Simulacrum run does not give 1% XP, does it? Wow. Yeah, even 97 was mighty painful. Rude ball. Hold on, is that smiling knight? It is. Life, mana, quick chance, intelligence, crude ball, and grab that. What's this one? Nothing. Time to loot. Doubled gauntlets. Underwhelming, eh? $150. So we got a perfect Widow Hell. It's just the wrong way around. Wow. Reduced attribute requirements, guys. What a useful and meaningful corruption. And funny thing is, it doesn't actually require any attributes at all. Yeah, didn't really get too lucky with this item. Yeah. Okay, that one is worth considering. We have a breach ring there. What is it? 79. I should just be doing elk on all of those. $200 life is great. I mean, if only the evasion thingy was a little bit better. Okay. Still not bad. Still not bad. Yeah. Let me see if those divine ones are better than mine. I guess we'll go one divine. What a good Uller. Haste and Torment, those are the only great resists I have not found. Oh, I'll just slack a little more. Whew. Yeah, when I was doing them very hard back to back, it was getting a little bit boring, but guys, after playing the monk, which is exhausting, this is welcome. Ooh. Because I don't have the strength to fix the jamming today. Maybe tomorrow. Earlier waves and we are getting hit. Why and how? When he exalted. Okay, let's wait for this wave to end, then we can go trade with the guy. We are infinitely burning again. We had this once more, yeah. We were constantly getting ignited. I guess that is one of those moments you are thankful for the ignite charm. There we are. That one. That's pretty cheap actually. Whatever. Sale is a sale. So we have done 1.5 simulacrum, guys, right now, and that didn't add up to 1%. Whoa. What's with the infinite ignite though? I haven't been able to comprehend that. So guys, when that starts happening, fully expect to be ignited throughout the entirety of the run for a reason. Yeah. Again, we are being burned. Burn, 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 burn. I'm not gaining charm charges as fast as I'm getting burned. Feels a little bit funny. Try. What have we got? Fur plate. Now that we have the stupid unique tab, black braid. Armor applies to elemental damage. Oh, interesting. Powerful actually, but maybe that's a relatively rare one. I think I haven't seen it much. It still doesn't add up to 1%. Again, we are being burned. And our charm is constantly depleted as well. Feels weird, man. Most probably will barely gain a charge, yeah. And it's already used. I'm using the charm's charge on cooldown through the entirety of the run. So weird. And I'm burned again. That's a bit of a bug. So weird. I was going to comment about how I saw 2 charges on my charm for the first time after we started the run, and I immediately got burned, and now I have 0 charges again. Actually killed a minion of mine for the first time ever. I saw the minion reviving, guys. So this is, you know, absurd. It's buggy, right? Because, guys, there isn't even anything that suggests that they are igniting more frequently, right? But here we are. As you can see, everyone is constantly on fire. And once it starts, right, it goes for the entirety of the run. Oh, it was my skeleton warriors from the scepter, I think. Still, you know, after having so much minion stats, and you know, some stuff are burning as usual. Yeah, guys, once it starts, there is no dodging. Everyone will be on fire always, including you. And ignite is a little bit nasty. It does persist for quite a while. Another nice bug, when your minions die and they get revived, the number of minions that you have is wrongly updated. I'm guessing the newly revived ones get added to the number, but the ones that died did not, so that's why I have 5 additional minions compared to normal. And of course, in these runs, you can just forget about, you know, AFKing. It's not possible. You are constantly being burned, and you know it doesn't inflict rather any damage. So that stuff actually could be, I think, new. Mm-hmm. 200 exalted. Sure. We have been spending quite a little bit of exalteds for the monk. Recovering 12 degrees would be nice. And you know, guys, I was saying to myself that I shouldn't be getting invested in filling the unique tab, but you know, just can't help myself. By the way, guys, if you ever wondered, the cost to fill it is extremely expensive. There are some units that are very, very expensive, so not easy to fill the thing. So the most expensive, as far as I know, is the mirroring ring, right? There is a ring that does what mirror does. It mirrors your other ring, so you equip a really good ring, and that ring, so that ring gets mirrored. That's the most expensive unit as far as I know. Then we have Temporalis. Honorable mentions are Astramantis and Dream Fragments. Yeah. I don't know of any others that are really expensive. No, 100 Divine Neighborhood. That would be it, I think. Okay, that's okay. That's definitely okay. This is all 6 affixes, sadly. Is that? 20 divine is somewhat exaggerated. Movement, mana, resistance, and it's an energy shield, evasion hybrid. That is pretty important for the builds that utilize Ghost Dance, right? Because the amount of energy that's being restored is equal to 5% of your evasion, so your evasion has to be high or it's not going to do anything. Okay, so we have something close. Let me see. There is one for 2 divine that is better than ours. Yes, quite better than ours. So guys, the stun threshold is giving us a lot of grief, right? Because we have attribute and resistance, very good suffixes. We have the best one, movement, right? We have the mana, that's also good. So we have 4 good, but the two ones, the two that are bad are really bad because, you know, very low tier evasion energy shield flat and a very low stun threshold. Even if the stun threshold was a little bit better, it would have been okay. I'm just gonna try 2 divine, and if it doesn't, we'll just drop it. And because it's the season end, guys, you know, stuff is hard selling. Whenever I do a price check, I just go for the low end. Leech probably is not important. So resistance and dual stats are nice. Suffixes, life is very good. But the lightning damage is not very good. The physical damage I did was its tier. It's not bad-ish. But all of the affixes are somewhat low except for life. Life is on the highest tier actually, I think. Yes. And don't get distracted by this. This is wrong, right? 100 to 100. So they need to work on this, right? On this add-on. Because the rings cannot have any higher life rolls than that one. Like 100 to 119 is the highest possible. So this should still be worth some exalted, I think. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, let's just do 20. Increase it, increase cast speed, mana regen. So this could be worth something, but I would have to hit mana as a prefix and a resistance. Let me try. That was a bad one. Yeah, it's a terrible one. Exactly, wasted. So we haven't finished it, right? It was the permanent burn thingy. Oh, we also have another offer. Yes. Wow, what's going on? So many cells. Okay. That's gonna be useful for the jamming. For the jamming, I am hoping or expanding in Exalted only as well. Didn't quite work for the monk, but I spent less than 10. I guess that's good. Here are the accept, please. Got another guy coming in. Okay, he changed his mind. He doesn't want to megalomaniac. Okay. Your call. Well, I guess I want to finish this now. The number of portals is getting dangerously low. Hopefully we won't be killed. See? Once the ignite starts, you can't stop it, right? Everything will be burning constantly. Does it end? Look at how fast the ignite depletes our HP. Oh. You got a lot of fuel, right? After this we can switch to auto bomber a little bit. I, with all my enthusiasm, guys, am starting to feel a little bit done as well. And of course, no seasonal mechanic gives you close to. Maybe the patch notes would have given us some motivation, but of course we don't have that either, like no patch notes. Why does this not get sent to the unique tab though? That's a little bit interesting. I can't send it, right? I'm control clicking on it, amulet. I can't do it because there are two different stellar amulets. No, I could send the rings, right? Cold Circan is a sapphire ring and Whisper of the Brother is another sapphire ring, and I could, right? But Struggle Scream I can't. We should definitely go here, right? Because they are alphabetical and ST is just before SU. I don't follow what the reason is. one good resistance, one acceptable resistance, good amount of dexterity, verifying the suffixes are beautiful, 40% energy shield, somewhat below average accuracy. What's going on? Life is also low. Well, life is actually from the hybrid modifier that gives energy shield and life, which means we have actually one more room for another prefix. Okay, I suppose that's worth it. And okay, I was going to complain, but I misread it. It's actually a good one. It's a high tier. Okay. This in. It's gonna be near 100. What's that 40 exalted one? So that 40 exalted one, guys, if trade was regular, I definitely would have bought that. No, top tier physical damage added, decent amount of energy shield, dual resists, and dexterity. Almost everything top tier. Yeah, that's definitely worth more than 40 exalted. But yeah. You know, I was going to say like 4 divine, and I was going to put it up for 2 divine so it would sell. But yeah, I'll just say screw it and put it up for 1 plus 4, 5. Increased chance of ignite. No need to waste exalted zonet, I think. Bang, 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 bang. Okay. I will go back to my. You know, even though I have the monk, this feels like the character that I have select on the most. She is, I believe, around the 50 divine neighborhood. I think we ready the. Now that I think about it, I think we ready the. Started out with this guy and didn't do it. Am I making things up? Let's just. Aha! I am correct. So I guess we could go for that one, right? So we need to do the ten, 11, 11, 10, 11, 11, 10, 10, 11, 11. So we have to go with the 11 ones. How many maps do we need? I need to find the thing again, right? Okay, let's close at least one. That's going to be very barely. 2. 1, 2. Okay, so we want 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 certainly, and 1. That doesn't look like it's going to work out. Okay. Can I try a delirious map? The map owners are not replying. A classic. One day, one of those people are going to reply. We have a 600 map that is delirious. I might have bought a spare one maybe. Let me take a look at this. No spares. Use them all. I mean, only this one is at 600%. %49 delirious. See guys, hopefully without dying. That's our map. me find it again. 1. 2, 3, 4, and this one doesn't gonna do it. 56, but it didn't. Yeah. So because if it's on the edge, right, it has to be. If it's on the edge, it doesn't count. Right, that's what my experience is. It has to be firmly inside. Okay, so what do we have that's nasty? We have the resistances and we have the crit chance, which means they can and will crit frequently, and they also have more damage. Yeah, if I go slow enough, I don't think it should cause a problem, because guys, we can overflow our energy shield and energy shield and life both, and we also have mind over matter, so oh, they did survive a bit, eh? Interesting. Okay. So because I'm not blinking like mad, so I don't get blinked in an ugly position. Right, this map is mighty valuable. Minimum value is 9. 1210%, by the way. So the minimum value is 9 divine, and the maximum value is 12 divine. Of course, it could be a little bit lower now that the season is hitting, and arbiter pieces are setting for a little bit lower actually. I have to remember to not portal out after I kill the boss. I'm hoping the infinite shooting will end. Okay. We have the infinite nuke again. Please break the ship clean in half, sir. That's not going to help you. That's not going to help you. Four, please. 4. Nice. So these were worth 3 divine each. So maybe we might have gotten 12 divine. Okay. So guys, the only way that I finish this map is I leave the game, I re-enter, I take my initial portal. Yeah. Because the boss is so valuable, I skip everything and go to the boss. So if I forget and portal there, the map becomes unfinishable. I'm hoping patch 0.2 will solve these weird issues as well. Oh, I can't blink, okay. I can't blink either. Alright, it's done with. Let's see how much they are worth. Faded Crisis. Line. Yeah, they did go. So 4 for 11. Yeah, I guess we'll have to accept that. Yeah, and greed has not paid off, guys. The other two pieces that we have obtained during our $60 farm day, this one was selling for, 1.2 maybe divines, and I didn't sell my 748. Now I am trying to sell my 747. We'll see if that works. That 4 was worth 4, and I am now trying to sell the 444, and it doesn't sell. As you can see, the ratio is 1 to 1.10 for in favor of divines. Divines are more valuable because the new season is coming. People are not looking to farm the arbiter all that much, of course. Because guys, imagine you get something good. Who are you gonna sell it to, right? Well, but I am guessing the servers will be somewhat more populated because they are bringing literally nothing for the season, right? So there will be the patch, right? There will be a lot of changes coming, but the changes will be affecting the standard server as well, which is to say there is nothing exclusive to the season, right? So standard and Dawn of the Hunt characters will be playing the exact literal same game under two different names and will be not able to interact with each other. That's it. And normally guys, there is something in the season, right? And I was maybe hoping for something corny like Diablo's journey, right? So there is nothing new, but there is a journey that you want to complete with cosmetic rewards, etc. No, as far as I can tell, there is quite literal nothing. Okay, let's grab a map here. Because after you have this character, every other character feels like, not even second rate. Yeah. And guys, for example, you want to do a map, you don't care about the modifiers, every single modifier is fine. The only one that can give you some grief is the verse cooldown recovery thingy, and that doesn't, make it very, very bad. It just blink less frequently and action stuff. I think I had that. Yeah, I'm considering it for the unique collection only. $100 new uniques feels exciting. We'll see. The next season, guys, I will try to complete that unique collection. Yeah, I'm curious about it. But as I said, they're extremely expensive. So, for example, guys, if I wanted to complete it, I would have to go, not all in, but close, right? I can do it now, but yeah, that ring is of course very nice, right? It costs a mirror. Okay. So it's somewhat hard to obtain it. Not somewhat, really hard. Yeah, as far as I know, those are the really the expensive ones. Those 4. The mirroring ring of Calandra, I believe it was called. Temporaries. Astra Mantis. dream fragments. I would like it if some of my... So this is very frustrating, guys. As you can see, the exchange ratio is 1-to-1, right? Which is what I'm trying to sell it for, but mine doesn't fill. That means other people's are getting filled, but it's the same thing here. So I'm curious about the... So from 2 full simulacrum runs, did we get 1%? We should have, definitely. Yes, we did. Wow, we didn't. What in the world? So guys, 95 to 96, no, 96 to 97 was 100 simulacrums, and 97 to 98 is more than 200. Whoa. Wow. And guys, to put the thing in perspective, how much I have played my Deadeye. This guy is 97, the Blood Mage is 97, and I have played both of them quite a lot, and the Deadeye has more XP than both of them. And of course, actually the Deadeye has much more XP than them, because I have... So the Deadeye was geared quite over time, and as you can... And she is also by nature squishy, so I have died many times on Deadeye. The amount of XP that was wasted on that was insane. And I was quite stubborn and started going for amelioration almonds very late with the Deadeye. Yeah. Wow, 2 simulacrums did not give me 1%. On the Deadeye, I think I have like 10 or 15% or so XP. So she is still the highest XP character that I have, and will remain as such, I'm guessing. Okay, let's do a few maps. So little in the way of rare maps though. Okay, that's an okay one. That's an okay one. I Okay, let's do that and that. Let's do the exalted. I'm not gonna stop there. Let's also do delirium thingies. Just one. One. Not even one. So properly juicing these maps, secondary list. Let me see. So hopefully, of course, it's going to pay off on the investment. What do we wanna do? Go somewhere else. Let's try. Alright. Torn gloves. Does that painter thing? Yeah. I have that, I think. Oh, I wish the unique tab would also, display to you if the item is in your collection or not. Male sabatons. I think that's new. Of course, I'm not talking about literal new. I'm talking about 2 or 3 days ago, since the sale started. Right when the sale started, I bought a unique tab, and even though I said to myself that I would not be working towards filling it, I am. But nothing so crazy as trading. But whatever drops, if I have inventory space, I'll pick it up and dump there. Struggle Scream, that Simulacrum finishing amulet is the only one that doesn't want to go in the unique tab for a reason. That would be the faded crisis fragments, for sure. I wonder if this build will exist in the upcoming patch. Because, guys, this build just has no equal. But of course, it's definitely going to be much harder to make this because there will be no abused temporalists around. So the temporalists will be nerfed. So we will have 2 questions, right? First of all, is the build still possible, right? Does the temporalist nerf break the build, or can still exist? And then of course, what will the price of temporals be because of the cheating? Now it's cheap, and yeah, if you are wondering about that, temporals right now is cheap. It's the cheap version. So I'm guessing it's gonna be worth, quite on the mirror level for some time. We have some uniques. I'm gonna grab them, maybe for unique collection. They work. That's a notable. Go. Almost valuable. If we had gotten one more resistance than it would have. Let's take a look if these go into our collection. All three. Let's see. Ooh. Yep, that was kind of looking like it. Yeah, so almost 400 divine and 2 mirrors. Yeah, man. Let's do a few more maps, then we can call it a night. I kind of want to sell that. Let's try it in divine. Chaos Orb dropped, I guess. This unique collection business is enjoyable, but the extremely expensive ones make it a little bit tiresome, of course. And I don't know why the struggle screen doesn't go in there. They forgot to include it. I mean, at first I thought it was because of the same base having multiple different uniques, but no, that's not it. Volatile wand. Such a pointless item. And it supposedly is to be a little bit more valuable and you can corrupt it for more chance of a higher chance of not consuming corpses. So it has a 25% or something chance to not consume corpses when you are consuming them. And that can be corrupted all the way up to like 30% or so. That's supposed to be valuable. I had been picking it up and walling it all the way. Once I got to 28 or 29%, and it was not worth even one exalted. That was demoralizing. That means I have wasted all those wall orbs. For the exalted map, probably XP map. He wants to buy all, he says, okay, let's take a look at it. XP. He says uncorrupted. Let's see. Three, 6, 9, and one of them is corrupted. Okay. Dang, that's a shame. Valuable. Okay, he says he wants to buy thingies. Let's grab the ones. One. Hold up, is that correct? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. have 7 then? Hold on. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You didn't say non-delirious, you said uncorrupted. 3, 6, 2, and 150, okay? Sure. It's 40. I guess one of the ones that I was trying to sell was not XP. If anything, it's not worth anything, let's just sell it. So, plus 2 melee. Like it, but we don't have anything else that's reasonable. It's just to waste the exalt. I mean, we had waste the exalted zone. Oh my god. Those items I was gonna say. So did I finish the map? No, I haven't, right? I was close, but I haven't. Did I do the boss yet? No, I'm not really sure. Oh, it's the XP. 97 to 98 looks mighty nasty. Hello, Lachlan. Goodbye, Lachlan. White belt. I don't think I have that in the collection. So guys, this is without buying anything. Let's see how the collection is. I'm curious. Flasks. I mean, I do have the flasks. And the characters. Amulet is 10%. Yeah. Ring is 7%. Of course, during the season I have gotten many of these, but wands are 66%. Whoa, there are that many mixes. Bows, I'm just missing one. Staves. Quivers. Belts, there are that many belts. Gloves. So 77 out of 268. Yeah. With the patch, there are many more coming. It's going to be a challenge. But of course, most of these are not even worth my god. Wow, there are that many body armors, and I have found that many body armors. That's a lot. Oh, there are also a lot of helmets. I might have been not seen this at all. Jewels. There are only 2 unique crossbows. Oh really? Just 2, eh? Let's do a few more maps and call it for today. Or maybe do a guide on the monk in case anyone wants to. I think it's a decent-ish season starter, but similar to Dead Eye, guys, it's not easy to put on the rated, right? And without the rated, this start can be slow. I did get started with like 60 or so, I think, on my Dead Eye. Wow, the frame skip is very real. What's going on, buddy? I really hope they improve the performance on the Delirium, because at some point, I was like so annoyed by this, the performance problems when you have the Delirium in your map. I just stopped using Delirium. That's why I liked ritual farming. You just focus on finishing the map and that's it. Chain Tiara might be new. Oh, this guy. So guys, I have faced this guy thrice with the monk and it has killed me all 3 times. There was something weird going on. Twice he just stood on 50% HP without going lower, and then one-shotted me. I think once it was volatile plants, the other time I don't know what it was, but yeah. Oh, why are they killing me exactly? What is the delirium percentage? 27, it's not that nasty. Well, we had a nasty situation there. It's, of course, the frame lag caused by delirium contributes to our misfortune for sure. And the thing is, guys, my computer is okay. Definitely about Path of Exile 2 standards, and just to be on the safe side, I also lowered game quality. My game quality, I mean, I think the game suggests that I play it on high, but I play it on performance, and still it doesn't. Yeah, I think it's bad coding in here somewhere. It somehow puts a lot of strain on the GPU. I think I'm not very sure what goes on. Computer whiz, but I know that it's problematic. Hopefully the patch notes will be coming soon. What's the situation? Wow, 1% finally arrived at it. Dang, guys, 97, 98 is definitely something. Not planning on doing it. Okay, let's do that ritual map and call it a night. Not that map, is it? No, we had this. 5 maximum cold res. What weird items? Yep, that goes there. What about this one? So many maps. I don't have delirium in this map. thought I did, but apparently not. Okay, now we can go and take a look at that. Virtual map. We have the boss lake there as well. I hope this build keeps existing, guys. I don't think it will, and I don't think it should, but... And also, even if it exists, it's going to be extremely expensive. Let's see. Okay, that last map for us. Okay, let's make that sail. So these are very nice days for the people that are not planning on playing the season and sticking to standard. The price have dropped quite a lot, and after the patch comes, we can sell a lot of this stuff for, hey, nice, the almighty profit. Of course, some stuff could lose value. Okay, so that's the second kind of unique crossbow, second and last. We didn't have in that in our collection, right? Because I remember getting surprised about only two kinds of crossbows. Okay. Let's see if we have anything in the... Oh, Pillar of the Cage God again. Let's see if we have anything noteworthy in the ritual. Wow. If it wasn't expensive, I would have considered it. Oh. Sand, we have nothing. Okay, let's go to the end of the map. And today we can have a short stream. Well, Sabatos, we just got that last map, I think. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. Why are we getting infinite masters? I mean, nice for favors, but that was so weird. And the corruption also proc, but still, it was a very wild amount. We also got that one recently, steel toe boots, I remember them. Green skin bench. Buy millions of maps again. Okay, we are that full. I don't like going to base, but the stupid unique collection thing is forcing me. Alright, let's open our sockets, corrupt it. We got nothing, I think. Should be enough to finish the map, I think. Inventory space. Hopefully. Let's go to that final rare. All right. Number of maps to dying. Energy situation. Not too bad. Let me try a divine. I don't think it's gonna sell, but can just knock it off. The fire resistance and dexterity are good. Mana is awful. The movement speed is perfect. Threshold. I'm still gonna go for it, but it's a bit painful at this point. 35% movement boots are quite popular, that's why I'm going for it. But yeah, the item is awful. Both modifiers that we have got is very bad. Take a look at the price that it shows. It's a liar. Yeah, a bit of mana. 3 divine one should be better than ours. Yeah. I'll go 2 divine and knock it off. Maybe I should just go 1 divine directly. Yeah, I'm going. Alright. So that's today's short stream. We were busy with fixing our monk for 2 days. And I have fixed the monk as you saw. I'll maybe put a guide on it for YouTube. Of course, I will not go into too much detail because it's a Max Shores guide. Like that's what I did the character on. So, but I could maybe give a few useful pointers, and maybe some people will appreciate a video more than a written guide. Normally, most of the time, the written guide is better, but sometimes you can catch some important stuff in a video. So maybe